Welcome back, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer, so now let's talk silver. A new article came out about silver, and I think the title speaks for itself. Silver is now officially in a new secular uptrend. We have a lot to talk about, folks. I hope you stick all the way through this video. If you like this video, then please like the video. And of course, if you want the newest, latest, freshest, most up-to-date, recent information in the world of precious metals, more specifically silver, then make sure you subscribe, especially since I'll be doing another massive silver giveaway. Remember the last giveaway? I gave away an entire tube of 2023 sealed Eagles. Yes, you heard me correctly, and actually, we doubled that because Andy Sheckman also threw out a tube of Eagles as well. And this next prize will be just as big. So you want to be subscribed. We're on the road to 100K. With that said, let's jump into this. So according to Investing Haven's market reading, silver is now starting a new wave in its secular bull market. In a way, it's official now. The writing was on the wall. We were there even in the public domain with this market call. And this was their article. This giant bull flag will be fuel for a big explosion in 2023. To be clear, we are talking about a secular bull run, not a tactical bull run. History shows that secular bull runs take a few years to complete. History also shows that there are 3 waves higher to corrective waves, with the third wave being the exponential phase. We believe the second leg higher is now officially starting. With this, our silver price forecast for 2023 is now confirmed, and a new all-time high will be set somewhere in the period of 2024-2025. Which is pretty ironic because when I talk about triple-digit silver, the huge quote-unquote explosion, silver skyrocketing, I talk about the year 2025, possibly 2026. And these are given the circumstances of the macro, not the micro, which is the fundamentals of supply and demand. But there has a lot, when I made that prediction, that was before the banking crisis. That was before banks started failing. That was before all of this stuff that's been, that's been moving tenfold with the BRICS nations. And so I kind of want to rewrite my prediction to 2024, 2025. And that's why I always say, take these price forecasts with a grain of sand, because we don't know the unknown variables. We don't have a crystal ball, right? And even when I was saying that, 2026, 2025, we don't know what's going to happen in the next month, let alone the next year. And that's a prime example. And I'm sure there's going to be more things that happen that could push it even sooner. So you got to be prepared, folks. Arguably, the first run of the secular silver bull market was the period of May, June, July of 2020. After this quick run from $15 to $28, silver took a break that, according to us, officially ended last month. Wow, so they're saying that Wall Street silver push to $30, that we hit the bottom. And now it's only blue skies from here. That's very important because remember, they said the new all-time high. If silver breaks past $50, especially with the way the economy's headed and people not trusting banks, everyone, and then people already are jumping on the silver bandwagon. And when silver gets money flowing into it, that's what directly affects the price. Silver's price is directly correlated with demand. So if we see all these waves of people dumping their money into silver, which is already starting to happen, I mean, look at APMEX. They have $500 order minimums now. It used to be free orders on orders over over $99. And then once that happened in the Wall Street silver movement, then it was $199. Now we're seeing $500 and shipping delays. I mean, this stuff is crazy, folks. But anyways, we're seeing a lot of demand, and it's only going to get way worse, especially once people start to wake up more than they already are now. I still think everyone is asleep. So if you're listening to me speak right now, pat yourself on the back because you are one of the 1%ers that knew before the curve. A lot of people will be wishing that they were you in the coming years, saying, man, I wish I heard about silver when you did. And yes, that is going to happen someday. Not maybe. People will be admiring you for knowing about silver before anyone else did. And that's just how it is. I always say silver stackers get the last laugh, and I say that for a reason, folks. But, anyways, so our continuous coverage of the silver market is now justified. Not only justified, it's also a very accurate market call. And folks, these aren't articles that are solely biased on silver because that's what this is investinghaven.com. We're talking about normal investing sites talking about silver being this explosive, right? You could, if this article was written from like some silver article or some silver website, of course, they're going to make a lot. We're talking about just normal investing sites that are writing articles like this about silver. They could have written this about gold, Bitcoin. They could have written this about anything, but they realize it's silver. And that's why when I cover these articles, you got to understand how big of a deal it is that they're speaking about silver to this extent, and it's not even a silver stacker, maybe even writing it. So the SLV chart shown below is the one that visualizes the end of the corrective wave and start of a new bullish wave. There have been more than 13 days above the nearly 3-year falling trend line. That's a secular breakout. Even if the 50% retracement level will be back tested in the coming weeks, which is unlikely but might happen on intraday basis, it would qualify as a secular breakout backtest. Why in the hell would silver be in a bull run amid a banking crisis and disinflationary monetary policies? Well, for several reasons. One, the banking crisis, as explained, resulted in a massive monetary liquidity injection by the Fed, sort of monetary easing, although nobody will call it as such. Precious metals rise on monetary easing. Two, gold and silver had no opportunity to adjust to the new reality of higher prices and wages. A delayed reaction makes so much sense. Three, the US dollar has been pushing higher for 2 years. There is no way gold and silver can stage a bull market amid a rising US dollar. Exactly, and that's kind of why the first one makes sense as well. If the dollar was strengthening, then of course gold and silver is going to be down. So when the dollar is going down, gold and silver will strengthen. Above all, we mentioned, and this is number 5, we mentioned that 4 structural changes confirm the start of a new secular silver bull market with physical silver tightness on top of the list. And I'm glad that they say that the macro, the fundamental supply and demand is at the top of the list. Finally, people are starting to wake up and listen to how serious the silver shortage will play, or how big of a role it will play in silver's price over the next several years. I swear, when I say this, I'm not exaggerating. I was the only person on the internet, besides maybe Andy Scheckman and David Morgan, that really was talking about the severity of the shortage. I'm not even kidding. Maybe a couple others would mention it when they go over the Silver Institute's numbers, but nobody really looked into the depths of it. I mean, I was going over underground supply versus above ground supply versus global demand versus recycling and incorporating that with how much is a byproduct and gets thrown away with investing, and then looking at the half-life of solar panels and how many EVs we're going to have by 2030 and incorporating that with, I mean, the numbers never made sense, ever. And if you've been a fan of my channel, you've been aware for a long time what people are finally waking up to, and that the silver shortage is what's going to push silver higher. Holding physical silver in the form of an ETF like SLV or on a bullion bank makes so much sense. This is the first part where I don't agree. It doesn't make too much sense, because when you try to get that silver out for physical, who knows how long that will take, or how long it will happen, if it will happen. A lot of times, they'll just settle, you'll get a cash settlement. I mean, the reality is the silver that you own on the SLV. You're supposed to have that silver in a vault somewhere, but it's not. There's not that much physical silver to back up all of the silver that people, quote unquote, own on the COMEX. Even the COMEX admitted the COMEX is damn near empty. So if we're talking about realistically, the only sure way to make sure you have your silver is to hold it in your bare hands. And like I always say, if you can't hold it, you don't own it. So they say, to be clear, when we say ballistic, we mean ballistic. Think crypto pumps 20% on the day. It won't happen next week. It will happen at the heights of this second and third bullish wave. That's when individual positions should have risen enough to create an exponential compound effect. Wow. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that they are extremely bullish on silver, and rightfully so. If you're someone who's on board, then just keep buying. There might be a small pullback or a correction since the price has been, I mean, this is the 1 month chart. Look at the 3 month chart actually. Right, so there might be a little pullback, and that just means you have an opportunity to buy silver for a little cheaper as it goes into, or as it was in overbought territory. It has to correct a little bit. It has to sell off. People capitalizing at the tops. That just means we get it at a discount for a little bit, even though American Eagles are selling for $45 on APMEX. That is ridiculous to the fullest extent, right? You have rounds like the Buffaloes that are selling for $30 on APMEX, but you have the American Eagle selling for $45. That's a $20 premium, folks. That is a $20 premium, where rounds only have a $5 premium. Like, that is insane. I thought Eagles premiums were starting to go down. Well, I can tell you why. The U.S. Mint banned everyone publicly from buying directly from them. So it's these dealers have a very hard time coming across Eagles, especially at a good price, because they have to get it from a middleman. Well, Andy Scheckman still is one of the only few authorized dealers that works with the U.S. Mint, Miles Franklin. So if you want to get Eagles for less than $45, send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. Let him know Slayer sent you. Andy Scheckman's a great guy. It's a very respected company. Andy filled a $50 million order in 2 days, the biggest silver purchase ever through history. $50 million, a billionaire from Texas. She bought, it was a lady, she bought 900,000 Eagles, over 100,000 ounces in junk silver and gold. Andy pulled that off. Do you think anyone else in the world could pull that type of... No, nobody has connects like that, but Andy does, and that's another reason why it's so beneficial to buy from him, because if you start buying regularly from them, you know, you can get to know Andy. It'll be like buying silver from your best friend. It'll be like having a hookup to something very valuable that nobody else has, like your friend has it, and you can get it right from your friend instead of going to the store like everyone else has to. You see what I'm saying? That could be very beneficial. Especially, like Andy always says, building relationships will be critical in the coming times. So I'm glad I can offer you guys that. Remember, send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. The link to this article will be in the description. Make sure you subscribe, not only because I post daily videos, but also because I'll be doing some more giveaways as we approach 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys soon. Peace.